Got it. Secured it. Security. Oh shit, locked it. Damn, look at them rims. Okay, so today's the first day that we're actually gonna work on the van. The first plan of attack is to try to insulate it a little bit. So just to start getting a little bit of experience, we're just gonna work with these really small indentions in the wall. What everyone seems to love and use is the Reflectix. We have like double Reflectix here. So my idea right now is just to kind of stuff some in this little bitty pocket here. Once we get all these guys done, then we'll probably do the same inside here, where we'll just stuff like the wool insulation inside or the spray foam insulation. And then we'll cover all these guys with the Reflectix just to give it a little extra love. So we got all of the Reflectix done in all of those little crevices. I put it on the back doors there. That looks good, that looks good. And then on this sliding door right here, some of it's popping out just a little bit, but not too bad. I'm gonna maybe use some like caulk and seal all that up just to make sure it's nice and tight. Looking good. I used the extra on the front window just because that's where most of the heat's coming out of, and why not? So for today, I might start working on insulating some of the larger crevices. I've got that wool insulation that I'm just gonna kind of stuff in there, maybe seal it up with some of the 3M adhesive. Also, I've seen a lot of people have trouble with the trim. Like on the outside of the van, there's that black trim that goes down on the bottom. A lot of the screws that are punctured through that support that seem to be causing a lot of water damage and rust for most people. So I'm gonna make sure that I go all the way across and just do some extra seal and then spray foam insulation over those just to ensure that there's absolutely no water coming in. So on my van, it's these little babies right here. These are supporting the trim on the outside. I'm just gonna make sure we got that all sealed up, and then I'm gonna give it a nice little love with that Great Stuff spray insulation. So for the seal, I'm just gonna use this interior and exterior weather tight seal. The other thing I'm working on today is some of these like spots that are like exposed fixtures or just places for that aren't painted. I'm gonna make sure I go over those just so there's no water rust damage. So I'm gonna go over that with this like all-purpose primer. It's bright white, and hopefully that will protect it from rusting. Okay, so now that I used that water sealant to do some of the weak points from the trim, I'm gonna start insulating some of the other cracks with this Great Stuff. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's supposed to help with water sealing, flame retardant, mold, all that good stuff. Slightly terrified because it's permanent, but anything I don't like I can sand down or cut out with the razor blade. So here we go.
The moment of truth.
I know. I hope I cut it okay.
We have a problem.
But it sounds like I'm pushing, you know? There's definitely about to be a glue explosion down here.
Thought this was necessary to document. So.
Yeah, everything, right? So I guess when you use construction grade adhesive, you're supposed to puncture the top. Safety first. Watch out for that. No.
Oh, I see it coming. It's coming.
It's coming, but what do you think of that? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see
Do you think
it.
that's enough?
Probably, yeah. It's not like the videos.
It feels sturdy.
How you feeling?
Hot, but good. I messed that up. Oh, come on, man. Sir, we're filming.
Excuse me, sir?
That looks good. What'd you think? All those are really, like, couldn't be really any tighter.
They look pretty flush.
Okay, so the plan right now, we just cut some of the frame strip for the ground, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue it with construction like grade adhesive. I don't want to like drill anything into the metal just because I don't want it to rust from any water coming up or water coming down from spilling stuff. And so I never knew from like most people's videos what they do, which is like my construction guide, everyone's videos. But basically, like if I was supposed to put it on the raised edge or not on the raised edge, and what we decided was that we're going to put it on top of the raised edge. So when we use the 1-inch foam block, it's not like getting pressured by this. It's more so just floating, and there's no risk of it really being cracked. And then the rest of that like space, I might use, I don't know, some other insulation, I guess. But yeah, I think that's it. We're going to do 1 inch by, or 1 foot by 1 foot, like wood blocks in the spaces that we walk. We'll use insulation for those dimensions to fill it in, and then we'll put the plywood on top. It should be good. You feel?
I feel that.
You feel that? He's Neo. Oh shit.
Oh shit. Love the dogs.
Good Lord. I keep putting that on top of the... Good. Alright, so today I'm going to be working on installing the vent. I have a MaxxAir fan Pro. We actually have to cut into the van today, so yeah. So here we go. Okay, so I'm going to do a practice hole in the center first. He did it. That was scary. Success. Okay. Lovely. Looks good. It's time to cut. Okay, so as you're cutting it, tape the parts that you've already cut to try to help it from vibrating as much as it does when you're cutting it. There she be. Okay, now I'm gonna file the edges to make it nice and clean. Okay, now I'm gonna spray paint, prime it again to make sure that there's no exposed metal that's not painted, just to kind of give it an extra protection from rust. Putty tape going around the edges to seal it. We did a second layer on this like little lower lip right here. I have no idea what this stuff is called. The guy at the RV place called it putty tape, but I'd say that it sealed it up pretty good. We put a little caulk around the edge. Now we're going in. Make sure their metal rings are on the sides. She gonna be tight. We're gonna pre-drill the hole just to kind of give it a head start, just because we're not sure how accurate this is gonna be with it just kind of loose and goose over there. So
Come on.
let's just shoot. Oh shit, that's hot. Got them all screwed in. I'm gonna seal it up with the C10. Water sealed. This is the only part that could go bad.
How?
That falls in. The hell.
Doesn't seem right.
Is there anything on the interior that's getting caught up? The like connecting holes right here are not gonna line up at all. Like we've been playing with it for a long time. So I'm just gonna leave it on like this and then try again tomorrow. But this is a fail. Okay, so it's day 2 of working on the van, or on the fan, and we couldn't get the latch points to like line up from the actual unit itself and then the cover that attaches to the van. So what I just did that kind of worked is like I was able to get like a small hole, and then I used one of these impact drivers and I kind of pried it down. I can get the front ones down, and I think what I'm going to do first is try to screw those in and then try to get a small opening on the back. And so here we go. Success, success, success. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Sweaty. We got it done. I did some of the sealant along the edges of where it connects and then over the screw holes, but we finally got it in there successfully, and it only took 2 days to do, which should only take 1. But we're pleased. Satisfying. Oh wow, look at that, y'all. The finished look. The finished look. I'm gonna quickly show and explain how I went from having no wall to having structured support, insulation, and then a full wall painted, ready to go. Remind you, I have no construction experience prior to making the van, so if I'm doing something wrong or if you don't like something, God bless you, let me know what I could do better in the comments, okay? So I began with drilling furring strips directly into the vehicle's support structure. This was probably the most difficult task that I've had during the build, just because I underestimated the amount of force that I had to use to penetrate the metal. I used drill bits to pre-drill the hole, followed by flathead screws. Make sure you get metal screws, because I originally started using wood ones and they were just stripping right away once they were making contact with the metal. So, you know, a little rookie mistake right there. As you can see, I drilled 2 horizontal strips to hide the van's electrical that runs to the back. After that, I used some of my scrap pieces that I accumulated throughout the build to attach horizontally in the pockets of the van. This was to give them more uniformity and support, and then I found that it was super helpful in holding in my wool insulation that I used. Additionally, I taped up Reflectix to hold all the wool in. This may have been a little bit overkill, but it was helpful as I wasn't able to immediately put the wall in, and it protected the work that I already completed thus far, and you know, why not? For the ceiling insulation, I decided to attach foam boards in tiled sections in some of the natural shapes of the roof. I attached them with 3M adhesive, and then I also covered them with Reflectix and taped it up so it would really stick to the metal. I then attached more furring strips to the vehicle's roof support structure so I could follow that up with using tongue and groove ceiling planks. The tongue and groove was really great to work with. I thought it gave the van a seamless look while also giving me one piece to shape at a time rather than trying to cut a large piece and fit it into whatever shape the van was calling for. It worked out so well that I ended up wanting to use it for the wall. I used plywood to about 30 inches high, which will be right under the cabinets and typically hidden, and then I followed it with more tongue and groove planks. I patched up any imperfections and then I began priming it. I did 2 coats of primer and then followed that up with another color white and some blue. In this final van conversion video, I'm going to show the steps that I took to transform my van from a blank canvas to a livable space by adding cabinets and countertops, a bed platform, and some creative ways I cleaned up the aesthetic to make it feel like home. The first thing I did to plan the layout was to tape down the floor to visualize where everything was going to go. My layout was super basic, but it gives me a good balance between livable and sleepable space. Rather than building my own cabinets, I decided to use IKEA kitchen cabinets. They were really easy to build and I knew it would provide the aesthetic that I wanted. I built them and then we put the units in the van, screwing them into the wall and the floor to ensure they weren't going anywhere while I was driving. I then worked on cleaning up some of the entry points and added some finishing pieces where the edge of the van meets the floor. I cut out some outdoor carpet to cover the floor in the garage. The layout I decided on required that I put the fridge under the mattress of the bed, so I built a fixed spot that lifted the fridge up to match the height of the bed platform. I did a similar finish to the entrance of the van while still allowing my lawn to serve its moment.
Period.
I used more outdoor carpet to clean up some of the more difficult areas for me to construct some woodworking, and I'm very happy with the end result. For the doors, I saw a lot of people make nice paneling to cover them up and make the inside of the van look less like a car and more like a home. I tried that and it didn't work or look as good, so I went back to the good old outdoor carpet and jammed them into the van's indentions. I then prepared the pieces I needed for the bed and attached them to the cabinets and the wall. You can see the fridge acts as part of the bed platform and can be accessed after lifting up the mattress. I had countertops and a sink installed, and then I installed my faucet. I added a magnetic strip for knives and decided to install floating shelves in the van to make it feel as open as possible. After that, the van was done. I just needed to add decor and Velcro down what I wanted to bring. I'll showcase the final look of the van in my van swap video, so stay tuned for that and some of my other videos. If you like what you see, give it a like, and if you want to see more of this, give it a subscribe. Is that good? Thanks for watching.